Now I can see the Provincial Secretary of Gauteng, TK Liza, the former Premier of the ANC in Gauteng and former Provincial Chair David Makura. You can see Puletis Patihelele, the Provincial Secretary of the ANC in the Free State. Robert Christie is also the Minister of Transport, and Sibongile Pesane, who is the head of presidency, and also Beginkosi Mtolo, the Provincial Secretary of the ANC of KwaZulu-Natal. He is also on the podium. As you can see, most of the NEC members, they will see Mkolisi Tukwana with the white cap as well, who is the Provincial Chairperson and Speaker of the Provincial Legislature of the Free State Province. The entire complement of the National Executive Committee, they are here at Luchuli House to review these 100 days of the government of national unity, where for the first time the ANC, after the 29th of May, lost its outright majority within the country. They will be looking at the government's performance of the government of national unity. You look at some of the deficiencies that are there. Policing is a huge problem within the province of Gauteng. Crime is a problem. You go to areas such as the Eastern Cape in Lusikisiki. You go to other areas where families were shot dead. You go to Orange Farm in Gauteng as well. You go to Soweto in some areas such as Naledi, where those particular children died of food poisoning. And those are some of the issues that are plaguing the country at this point in time. You go to the road carnage that has been there, particularly within the past few weeks. Those are some of the issues that the president will have to deal with. You look at the performance of the economy as well, Bongiwe. Well, Bongiwe, we will ask some of those who are here, Mama. Eziyikhulu soke kuphethwe lo hulumeni wobambisano kuzwelonke, nizizwa kanjani njengamalunga kakhongolose?
Siyazama kuba si-communicate, sisajonge lukhulu ukuba masiye phambili xa sisonke sibambisene. Yena nto siyifunayo leyo.
Iziphi inkinga nje enibhekene nazo emphakathini? Iziphi inqalasizinga enidingayo? What are some of the service delivery issues that you are waiting for as communities?
Umbani sikhala ngawo umbani. Thina sihlala kwi-mining sector. Xhomekeke kwi-mining sector. Sajonga lukhulu urhulumente wethu asikhuphe phantsi kwemali.
I-mining sector indawo ihlala ngayo eCarltonville noma? Iziphi ezinye iy'nkinga ezikhona nje endaweni yaseCarltonville? Those are some of the community members that they stay in the mining area of Carltonville. They've got issues of electricity within that area. They're looking for jobs within that particular area. That is the area of, if you go to the politics of the ANC and the government, that is the Western District. That is an area that is not controlled by the mayor, who is the Westland District Municipality mayor, who has to resolve those particular issues of those communities within the area. Saying they have to work with the mines in order to resolve the issues of unemployment, poverty, and the triple challenges within that area, Bongiwe.
Asambe wololo. Hey wena. Ololo. Amanda. Amanda. Awetu. Pata Ramaphosa pata. Kokela Ramaphosa kokela. Viva ANC viva. Ayeye Gauteng ayeye. Ayeye Gauteng ayeye. Amanda. Our two comrades, we have comrades from all provinces are here. We are going to start with our program. The president has arrived. I'm going to be your program director. So you must expect the razzmatazz. Let me thank DJ Maporisa, who was doing the things for us. The music will come. First thing first, comrades, I'm now going to invite us to start with the singing of the national anthem. Bakwana want to be national anthem. Wait. Oba baba kurmule iskogo. Sihloniphe national anthem. Siyazwana maqabane. Thank you very much. Singaya again, national anthem. Amanda! Away two. Comrades, as we start with the program, before I introduce everyone who's here, I'm going to ask our chaplaincy to come forward and open with a prayer. Bafundis. Yeah.
Comrade, Program Director, Secretary General Figile Mbalula, thank you. Let's greet and acknowledge the President of the African National Congress, Comrade Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, and members of office bearers, the First Deputy Secretary General Nomvula Mokonyane, Second Deputy General, Comrade Maropeng Ramokopa, and Comrade Dr. Gwen Ramokopa, Treasurer General, members of the NEC, provincial chairpersons, PECs, members of the leagues, distinguished guests, comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Dumelang. 100 days ago, President, we began as a nation what to many appeared to be a mission impossible. What appeared to be a journey that is doomed for failure from day one. And today, 100 days later, we are gathered here still believing that this journey is possible. Indeed, without gloating, there are many who did not believe we will reach this day. We have a reason, therefore, as a nation to ponder how favored we are, how blessed we are that we could reach this far as a nation, that we have embarked on this journey against all odds. And so, President and your leadership, we are here to celebrate and give thanks for this gift of this government of national unity and inclusive government built on the commitment to make South Africa a prosperous nation, a safe nation, a living democracy, but above all, a South Africa that promises a future to the youth of our nation, Babatletse Mona, all of you, a South Africa for you. For that reason, we are here to start this important celebration with prayers. As we start, I just want to quote the book of Matthew chapter 19. It's a book that tells the story of what is called the eye of the needle. In that story, we are told that Jesus told people what they need to do in order to enter the kingdom. When he told them what they need to do, some of them said, in that case, nobody will enter. And this is what Jesus answered. With men, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. And we are reminded 30 years ago, when we are building this new South Africa, one of our elders, a wise old man called Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, made this statement. I quote him, it always seems impossible until it is done. So what seemed impossible is happening today. We are therefore going to pray, and after prayer we observe a moment of silence that will be led. The prayer will be led by Reverend Vukile Mehana. The moment of silence will be led by the Reverend Nonkaba Musunkutu. Over to you, Mfundisi.
Let us pray. Righteous Creator, we thank you for blessing our nation all the time. We thank you for providing our nation with stability. We thank you that after the 29 May, you once more constituted our state. You constituted our legislature. You constituted our judiciary, and you constituted our executive for the sake of your people. We thank you, Creator, for your boundless blessings, for giving us the government of national unity in accordance with your attribute, which is unity. You only have the wisdom and power. You are the only one who controls the course of world events. You showed us your miraculous power after the national elections, when no one party won, that you are mightier than any human comprehension, when our country was at the crossroads. You gave wisdom and knowledge to men and women that you chose to be with them as they set to determine the future of our country. You revealed deep, mysterious solutions that no one ever thought about. You knew what was lying in darkness. You transformed darkness with light for our country. You transformed confusion and doubt into a glorious assurance of peace and stability. Let your name be praised. Thank you for giving us light for the future. Triumphant Creator, in your divine obedience, we intercede. We intercede for our parliament and all the public representatives. We intercede for our president, Cyril Ramaphosa. We intercede for all the members of the government of national unity, for even those who decided not to be part of it, we intercede for them. By faith, we call on you to empower them with compassionate love and care for your people. By faith, we call upon you to give us wisdom, transcendency as they lead your people. We transcend that you make this government to be fully aware of the poor and the downtrodden of our country as they lead your people with justice, righteousness, honesty, and humanity. Be with them as they serve all your people, irrespective of their status and their class. Go, Lord, into the squatter camps. Go, Lord, into the villages. Go, Lord, into the squalors. Go, Lord, to every corner of all those who found themselves being hit by inequality, and raise them through this government under the leadership of this president. We decree you, O Creator, that your leaders always be under your guidance. By the power of your Holy Spirit, we give them gifts. Give them gifts, Lord. Give them gifts to discern. Give them gifts to tolerate one another. Give them gifts to be patient with one another. Give them gifts to fulfill your purpose. Make their hearts and motives always pure to achieve the objectives not only of this government, but to better the lives of all your people. Uniting Creator, unite all the forces of national democratic revolution. Give them the spirit of solving all their differences for the sake of who sacrificially died for this freedom and live for peaceful existence. We pray for the alliance. Give them the ability to meet and be able to talk, and you in the middle, you make them find solutions. Not only, Lord, for their own sake, but for the sake of the history of the mothers and fathers who died, young people who died for this liberation. Make them, Lord, to be one. I pray for this alliance that it be one, so that it can give a collective leadership in our country. God bless South Africa. Lord, heal our land. God, save South Africa. We are in your hands. We are your children, O Lord. You are our God. Protect our nation. O God, bless Africa. Makubenjalo, makubenjalo. Amen.
Protocol observed. With due respect, I will request everyone to stand up and all of us to be quiet as we are going to observe the moment of silence, remembering the tragedy that has befell our country, our provinces. The Lusikisiki family, the Kumbu family, the Naledi Soweto family, Orange Farm family, where 7 people were killed, and our departed stalwart, comrade, Governor Tito Mboweni. I thank you. Moment of silence, please. Let us observe the moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you. With the prayers, Amanda. Amanda. Comrades, before I call the president, we are here today. We are not celebrating. We are doing what is called reflections of the first 100 days of our government, of the ANC led by Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, our president. So the president is going to speak to us about the 100 days and the work they are doing to implement the mandate we have given them. Angitsho sibanikeze umsebenzi. So uzokhuluma namuhla umongameli we-ANC. Okwesibili, we, through the president, kuzobonga nina ama-volunteer ngomsebenzi omuhle niwenzile for i-African National Congress. Apha eGauteng nezwe jikelele. Hayi, imali angithembisanga ndim.
sizayi-adressa leyo. Siyazwana.
Okay. Okay, comrades. Nginizwile. Ya izawuadresseka lonto siyazwana. Nisebenze kakuhle kakhulu. So angifuni ukuthi simoshe isikhathi. Ngoba sekusebusuku angisho. Amandla. So maqabane. Ndizobiza umongameli. Before ngibiza umongameli, ngizokwazisa inkokheli ezikhoyo la. Sino Treasurer General wethu uComrade Ramaphosa. Wathinta abafazi. Sino Second Deputy Secretary General. Ubani Second Deputy General? Marupini Ramaphosa. Wathinta abafazi. Sino First DSG. Comrade Nomvula Mukonyani. Tata Mama Action Tata. And then we have members of the National Executive Committee. Angibabonanga ke abantu be alliance abakhona la. Kodwa sibamemile. Oh isanko ikhona. Tata mhlali tata. Tata bahlali tata. Angazi khosathu noma ikhona. I-SABC besesivile emaphepheni ukuthi bathe bane meeting. Sino president we Youth League uColin Malachi. Bebe marcha la bathi bebe 25,000 bebe baningi mongameli. Bathi bafuna imisebenzi abantu abasha. Kokhela Malachi kokhela. Mawugeza Malachi siza kuphula ingqoshi. Ungagezi kakhulu. Ikhona iWomen's League. Sinayo SG we Women's League. Unobhala jikelele wathinta abafazi. Wathinta imbokodo. Ya uza kufa finish and clear. Unokuthula. Unobhala we Women's League lo. Sino chairperson bama province wethu bakhona la. Ngoba basihloniphile. Ngicabanga ukuthi ngibazisi. Epanyaza ke tla ufa monna uskatata. Dibone abanye imani. Dibone abanye la. Ngibone abanye la bemosha umcimbi la. Upanyaza uchairman we-ANC. Uchairman wethu. So ningazuganga la. Ngoba nizawudibana nediscipline. Ndiyanibona niyamosha la. Niphakamisa amaplakati angacacanga. Sino Comrade uPanyaza uzasamkela Lisufi. Usihlalo wethu la eGauteng. Sino chairperson wethu wase Northern Cape. Wase Northern Cape uComrade Zamani Soul. Phakama Zamani intoni wahlala msinya phansi. Uyadilivara pha Northern Cape. Bambiza uSankara wase Northern Cape. And then sinosihlalo wethu eMpumalanga uComrade Mandla. Phatha Comrade Mandla phatha. Upremier wethu futhi phayana eMpumalanga. Iyayikhosa singizayibiza. Ngisazisa ma comrade. And then sinama comrade ndizanibiza kwaZulu Natal ngoba ndimbona uDuma la. Umtolo niyamazi ubheka imtolo. Ukhona la phakama mfondini. Yeah. eKwaZulu Natal bengizophakamisa usiboniso. Hayi comrades, ndiyeza kuDukwana kutheni ngathi niyandinqamela ngoDukwana. Sino chairperson we-ANC Free State umxolisi Dukwana. Viva Whitehead, viva! Kubani omnye ndimphosayo? Makhura nawe ufuna ukwaziswa? Waluza ubuchairman kudala mfondini. We have promoted you now. Udada umeya wethu naye ukhona apha. Dumela dada. Phatha dada phatha. Sinomeya wethu wasekuruleni. Funeka sizivise kamnandi. Sinomeya wasekuruleni uDr. Kakaza. Viva Tokotela, viva! Comrades, we greet you all, and without waste of time, I'm going to call Comrade Panyaza to welcome us, and immediately I will call the President. Amandla! Awethu!
Oi, oi, ANC, oi, oi. Oi, oi, President Ramaphosa, oi, oi. Long live the undying spirit of Comrade Tito Mboweni, long live. Long live the undying spirit of Comrade Tito Mboweni, long live. Amandla, Amandla. Long live President Ramaphosa, long live. Ripilele President Ramaphosa, ripilele. Thank you so much, Comrade SG. Our task, comrades, is to welcome you here as the African National Congress takes stock of 100 days of government of national unity. Our task is to thank our national leadership for guiding us through the most difficult period that our movement found itself in the last 100 days. Our task is also to thank those that have crafted the document, the statement of intent, and those that were given the mandate to negotiate on our behalf. Comrades, on behalf of the membership of the ANC Gauteng, let's give them a round of applause to thank our leadership for the task that they've done. Comrades, as we celebrate this milestone of establishing a government of national unity, we must be wary of those that are doing wrong things. Comrade SG was right, comrades. It must not be in our name that we undermine the leadership of this movement. It must not be in our name that we want to define ourselves outside the leadership of the African National Congress. We are under the leadership of the African National Congress, and our national office bearers provide that particular leadership. And we must respect that, comrades. Comrades, we also want to thank all the provinces that have established government. We want to thank all the premiers that are here, and we further want to thank all those that have led in those negotiations. Comrades, we have one ANC. We have one national leadership. Our victories remain ours together. Our challenges remain ours together. Comrade President, when we met like this last time, Johannesburg municipality was not under the leadership of the ANC. We are proud to report back to you, President. As we meet like this, Johannesburg is under the leadership of the African National Congress. Comrade President, as we met last time, Ekurhuleni was not under the mayoralship of the African National Congress. We are proud, as we meet today, Ekurhuleni is under the leadership of the African National Congress. Comrade President, when we met like this last time, Tshwane was at the hands of those who refused to render services to our communities. We are proud to report back to you, Comrade President, Tshwane is now firmly under the influence of the African National Congress. So comrades, as we march on, we must remain resolute. We must guard jealously for the unity of the African National Congress. Because there is no other movement besides the African National Congress. And its colors are very clear, are black, green, and gold. Asina mona, asina nzoto, siyaitumisa African National Congress. Thank you so much, comrade. You are all welcome. Thanks.
Amanda! Viva Panyaza, viva! Apelutuli house uRamaphosa ushiye mnamos. Kuphathe mna nonomvula apa. Siyeta ulasaruna mo. So today we have notiji usilungiselela imali. Amanda! Comrades Tshwane, are you here? Ekuruleni, Johannesburg, Sidibeng, Amanda! I forgot to introduce COSAS. We have our comrades from COSAS come here. This is the leadership of COSAS. Ngifuna ukunibonisa nje ukuthi President, iCOSAS ayisakhokhelwa ngabantu abadala. Ikhokhelwa zingane sesikolweni. This is a learner. We have a new COSAS leadership. The spokesperson is Viva COSAS, viva!
Viva! Viva COSAS, viva! Viva ANC Youth League, viva! Viva ANC, viva! Viva ANC Women's League, viva!
Amanda! Each one! Thank you very much, COSAS. Comrades, without any waste of time, I'm going to ask the President to come forward and deliver 100 days of reflections. Are you going to put on a song? You can come forward, Sisi, the praise singer. Amanda! Masisa kwamkela President.
Mayibuye! I-Africa! Mayibuye! I-Africa! I am a praise poet, originally from Northwest. However, ke iphitlhela ke le the province of Gauteng. I would really love to welcome the President of the Republic of South Africa. And I would love to give my thanks to the leadership of ANC, utilizing my God-given talent, which is poetry. Me poko ya me etsa maatjana e bitswa Afrika Borwa. Morena, ke kopa tidimalo bagolo ba me. Morena boloka setšhaba sa gaetsho o fedise dintwa le matshwenyego. Godimong botlhe ba le lebelela teng mme they keep on crucifying those ba ba fitlheleletseng lefatshe la mašwi le dinotshi go santsane go le lata. Re ka be re kotula gane gano setsa dipeo empa re iphetotse dikutu tsa go ka kutwa ke dikutwana. Ere kere matla kgomo ko dimela e se re gutla monkgo wa kgaoga o kgaotsa maoto ke ba ja tlhapi ba go rekiseditsa tlhapi kana di kapile ke wena kana lefatshe le ke la rona re la apareng ka boikgantso re tlogela go siana re ntse re siana na dipone di gauta di selefera di tswa tlase ga mmu e le wa rona. Welcome to a country. Welcome to a country where we are led by leaders who are led by the voice of God. Welcome to a country. Welcome to a country where we are led by leaders who listen to the voices of the people that they lead. Welcome to a country. Welcome to a country where we are led by leaders who ensure that we are united not by blood but by speaking the same voice. Welcome to a country. Welcome to a country that ensures that the rights of the people are being preserved and all the needs of the people are being taken care of. Welcome to a country. Welcome to a country that allows women to still be in leadership. Welcome to a country. Welcome to a country where a cry of a child is not left unattended, but every child is being taken care of monthly on a basis. We know that they have to eat and drink and wear. Welcome to a country. Welcome to a country where students are allowed to go and study freely and they have the right to express themselves in whatever cause or need they may need. Welcome to a country where we are led by a man who is as wise as King Solomon, the man who knows the need to plant, to ensure that the people always have the food Africa shall harvest. Welcome to a country. Welcome to a country where liberation has ensured that the yokes that have entangled the minds and the necks of the people of South Africa has been taken away. Welcome to a country where leaders ensure that all the chains that block its people are being taken care of and the people are able to say that Amandla, Amandla. South Africa really is saved and led by leaders chosen and anointed by God. Mayibuye! Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, OCs. Comrades, I want to tell you, you know most when you elected us, we were 7. We are still 7. The national chair is going to China, is on his way to China. The deputy president was with us. He's also preparing to go to another country called Samoa. You know Samoa? Yeah, the deputy president is going there. Diana, zitlani ngababona apa nizawuvela ngegossip ngomso. So mandinqande lo gossip. Siphelele maqabane. I'm going to call our president, Matamela, the one and only. Matamela, a great thinker, unifying force. Indoda enganalo uchuku. Ay man, uyandidisrupt mfondini. Ndizayithatha le tender. Manukhulule ke xa sizawuphakamisa umongameli ngawutsho ke mhlekazi. Masi
Amandla. Viva ANC, viva. Viva COSATU, viva. Viva SACP, viva. Viva Sanko, viva. Malibongwe. Igama lamakhosikazi. Roar, young lions, roar. Roar, young lions, roar. Amandla. Comrades, dumelang. Nimadekwana. Riperile. Sanbonan. Kele thabo lele hulu hunna. Ukuthola lesisikhathi sokuba nani lapha. I want to greet the leadership of the African National Congress at national level, provincial level, as well as at regional and local level as well. I also greet the leadership of the ANC Women's League, the ANC Youth League, the Veterans League, and also the leadership of our alliance partners. Noma abanye bengekho, i-South African Communist Party, i-COSATU, neSANCO. Comrades, this is not a night for celebration. This is a night for reflection. But more importantly, it's a night when we, as the leadership of the ANC, a leadership that has also come from our provinces, would like to extend our thanks and gratitude to the people of South Africa, to the members of the African National Congress, to the supporters of the African National Congress, but also more importantly, to our volunteers who are gathered here tonight. 100 days ago, it feels like 100 years already. 100 days have passed since the members of the Government of National Unity were sworn into office. The establishment, comrades, of the GNU was a historic occasion, bringing together into one administration, the 7th administration, parties from across the political spectrum. As we mark this moment, we reflect on the establishment of the GNU. We also reflect on the progress that has been made to bring stability into our country since the 29th May elections. Yes, we reflect on the work that has been done, particularly in carrying out the mandate of the people for transformation, inclusive growth, and the creation of jobs. And on this occasion, yes, we recognize the decision of the people of South Africa, who made it clear to all of us and to the African National Congress that they would like us to work together. The results of our elections showed that while acknowledging the progress that has been made during the first 3 decades of our democracy, from 1994, the citizens of South Africa are deeply concerned about the state of our country. They are concerned about our economy, an economy that has not been growing, but also an economy that is not inclusive, that does not include everyone. The people of our country made it clear that they are concerned about unemployment, they are concerned about poverty and the inequality that continues in our country. Now, through the elections, the voters expressed their concern also about the delivery of basic services and the quality of governance. Importantly, the people of South Africa also sent a clear message about the state of the African National Congress itself. They said that our movement needed to give full meaning and effect to the whole process of renewal and rebuilding and unity. Many of our people recognize that, yes, progress has been made, but they also feel that we have not done enough. They are not convinced that the advances that we have made will not be reversed. Today, on this day of reflection, we must say that having established the government of national unity, we are firm on saying that the ANC will continue to lead the fundamental transformation of our country and society, whether they like it or not. Bayathanda noma bathandi kuzawenzeka. This is what the ANC has committed itself to. And today, as we thank our people, we also want to assure them that the ANC remains committed to ensuring that our manifesto, as adopted by the National Executive Committee and by various structures, the alliance and all, will be implemented. Yes, we have had, comrades, to acknowledge that the outcome of the 2024 elections was a strategic setback for our movement. It is the first time since the advent of democracy that the ANC did not achieve an outright majority at national level and also in some provinces. However, as the party that received the most votes nationally and in 7 provinces, we are the ones who our people looked upon to give leadership and to act in the best interests of our country and its people. The ANC was the first to say, we accept the results of the elections and the decision of our people. That in itself showed leadership. It showed maturity on our part. And people have said that in other countries, when the governing party loses its majority, sometimes they refuse to accept the will of the people. In South Africa, that is led by the African National Congress, we made it clear that we accept the decision of our people and the will of our people because we respect our people. Having done so, comrades, we had a number of choices. One of them was whether the ANC should go into opposition. Siyohlala kuma opposition benches because we did not attain 50 plus 1%. Yes, when you have not attained 50 plus 1%, one of your choices is to go into opposition, uyohlala le muva, and see how best you can regain ground. One of the choices was to lead, to provide leadership, to lead a government of national unity, and to invite the other parties and say to them, as our people have decided, let us work together. We opted for giving leadership. The ANC could not sit on its laurels and not do anything to lead this country forward. The ANC has always given leadership to South Africa. From 1912, when the ANC was formed, that act of forming the ANC was to give leadership to South Africa. The act of drafting and accepting the Freedom Charter was giving leadership. The act of embarking on the armed struggle was to give leadership. And the act of getting into negotiations leading up to the democratic elections in 1994 was the ANC once again providing leadership. And today, in 2024, the ANC was called upon to provide leadership. And we have provided the leadership and invited all other parties to be part of a government of national unity. That is what the ANC has done, to give leadership. So, comrades, we gave leadership to ensure stability. We also gave leadership to make sure that we advance transformation and that we address the concerns of our people. We agreed that an inclusive government held the best prospects to move our country forward. We saw this as an opportunity to work with other political parties to address the challenges that confront South Africa. And comrades, asikali, we are not starting today to work with other parties. In 1994, Utatu Nelson Mandela led us in working with other parties. We have been working with other parties in a number of provinces. We've been working with other parties in our local government institutions. So asingabo omafikizolo kudala siyenza lento. And where we work with other parties, in the end, the ANC, not arrogantly, not trying to praise ourselves. Yes, we do provide influence, we do provide leadership, and we do provide guidance in the interests of the people of South Africa. And in doing all this work, comrades, I would like to thank our negotiators who day and night, after the elections and it became clear that we had not won 50 plus 1%, executed the mandate of the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress. Lento siyenzayo GNU, aksi construction, iga Razmataz, aksi construction, iga Cyril Ramaphosa. It is what the African National Congress, NEC, decided should be done. And I want to thank our negotiators who were led by the Secretary General Wetu. Ningambhekeli phansi lo SG wenu. Uyakwazi ukuthetha. Uyakwazi ukunegotiate. He worked with other comrades who are here, who I will not be able to name because there are so many of them. And we thank them for having made sure that indeed we do come up with a workable agreement, a statement of intent that in many ways represents the objectives that our people have and what the African National Congress has been mandated to execute in the interests of our people. This moment, comrades, is also an opportunity to mobilize across society and across political difference to build a country that is truly united, a country that belongs to all who live in it. It is an opportunity to take forward the struggle to build a society in which all our people may be able to prosper and to thrive. We thank all political parties who agreed to be part of this journey, who came together acting in the interests of our country. We went into the GNU knowing full well that we have significant ideological and political differences with some of the parties. Exactly what we had in 1994. In 1994, we went into a government of national unity with a party that represented apartheid, our oppressors, and we agreed that to take South Africa forward, we would work together with them. Today, we are in a GNU with 9 other parties, and some of those parties we have major ideological differences with. We knew that there were fundamental issues on which we differed, and that were bound to bring about tensions and strains in the government of national unity. But we also know from many decades of experience that the ANC comrades has the strategic clarity and the political capacity to work alongside a wide range of those in pursuit of progressive goals. Ngoba asibasabi, arebatsabi, ibile re abatle wozani, sizawusebenza nani, siphinde sinisebenze nani. That is how we work. Ultimately, the GNU comrades should not be judged by the political orientation of the parties that constitute this administration, but it should be judged by the impact that it will make on the lives of the poor and working people of South Africa. Since the elections, South Africans from all walks of life have rallied behind the objectives, the programs, and the work that the GNU has embarked upon. But they've largely rallied around the implementation of the statement of intent. And both as individuals and through their various formations, our people have made a commitment to work alongside the government to build an inclusive economy. And already we can see in the surveys, there are many surveys that are being published that show that the majority of South Africans have embraced the government of national unity. The majority of South Africans have accepted the notion of the GNU that we should all work together. And the people of South Africa are demonstrating their support for the principles and the minimum program that is contained in the statement of intent signed by the parties of the GNU. Now, the surveys also tell us that a number of people are also warming up to the ANC. They are beginning to say, yes, we support this movement. And comrades, this is a moment that we should use to increase the standing of the ANC. This is the moment that we should use to ensure that the ANC continues to lead society. The people of South Africa still love the African National Congress. That is clear. They still have a deep love affair with the African National Congress. Now, as members, as leaders, we must go out to our people and say, give us the love back. Sifuna I love back. Uyayazi ukuthi i-love back isebenza kanjani. Uma ningasazwani omunye uyaya uthi I want your love back, Sithandwa Sam. That's what we should be doing. We should use this moment of the government of national unity to strengthen the African National Congress. We should use this moment to strengthen our branches, to rebuild our branches from the bottom, branch by branch, zone by zone, region by region, and province by province, so that the African National Congress ibuyele kulesiya situlo sayo sokuphatha lelizwe. So comrades, this is a moment that we should utilize. This statement of intent, comrades, describes the essential features of our national agenda for the next 5 years. It provides a platform for the continuation and the intensification of the fundamental transformation of our economy and society. A government of national unity, comrades, it's not starting from scratch. It is continuing with the work that was done by the African National Congress in the 6th administration, in the 5th administration, in the 4th administration, and in the 1st administration. And nabo bayavuma bathi yo i-ANC beyisebenza. Now bayabona ukuthi the ANC was working, and today senze umsebenzi wabo ukuthi ube lula, but umsebenzi wethu umsebenzi ka-ANC. So that is what we must strengthen. The GNU, comrades, has identified 3 strategic priorities. Firstly, to drive inclusive growth and job creation. Job creation is at the top of our agenda. Comrade Colin Malachi and the ANC Youth League proudly led a massive march to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange in demand for employment. And we support them. We stand behind our young people, and we applaud them for having led a huge march to the stock exchange. We applaud them because, much as we have included it in the statement of intent, what they are saying is that we want the government of national unity to speed up the process of job creation so that kube nemisebenzi, so that we fulfill what we set out in our manifesto. What we have now done is to make this demand for employment creation to be a priority of the government of national unity. That is an important development. Labo abati, oh, we are going to be diverted. The National Democratic Revolution is going to be defeated. Setiguni, there is now clear acceptance on the priorities of the African National Congress. They are now the priorities of the government of national unity. And that is one thing that we must recognize. Secondly, the second priority is to reduce poverty and to tackle the high cost of living, and to get the 9 parties to recognize that, yes, we must reduce poverty. Poverty that mainly affects our people is something that we must recognize and appreciate. Thirdly, we said we want to build a capable and ethical developmental state. Comrades, these priorities are closely aligned to the 6 priorities areas of the ANC 2024 manifesto. Ezethu lezi priorities. So abantu abasabayo abangabazayo sithi kini, the priorities of the GNU are also the priorities of the African National Congress. And we now have many people who are in the GNU who are chanting and articulating precisely all these priorities. There is not a single one who is opposed to these priorities. Now, the 100 days since the establishment of the GNU have seen a marked improvement in the confidence among South Africans. The sentiment among ordinary people as well as investors is positive. Investors are saying, we are now looking at the economy of South Africa as an economy that can grow. Because in the end, comrades, we need to grow this economy. This economy must grow so that it can create jobs. We need to grow this economy so that we can re-industrialize. We need to grow this economy so that we can build new factories, so that our people, especially young people, can get jobs. Nalabo who are over 35, ngihlala ngithi nabo asizobashiya ngoba sifuna ukuthi nabo bayithola imisebenzi. Uma sikhuluma ngemisebenzi sithi kuColin Malachi ne-Youth League sithi yebo sifuna imisebenzi for nina nalabo aba over 35 ukuthi nabo bayithola imisebenzi. Now, comrades, the prospects for growth in our economy have really improved. We have entered a new era of promise and a new era of hope. This is not just based on wishful thinking, but on real progress that has been made since the election. We have made important progress on the first priority of the ANC manifesto, which is a jobs plan to put South Africans to work. During the 100 days of the GNU, government has been working to expand and also to institutionalize the presidential employment stimulus, the expanded public works program, and other initiatives under the presidential youth employment intervention. We want these interventions to grow. We want these interventions, yes, to ensure that those who don't have skills do get skills so that our people can be trained and be able to be employable in the economy of their own countries. Now, these programs that we are continuing with will provide income, will provide job opportunities, as well as skills development for young people and the older people. We have signed the Public Procurement Act, which includes set-asides for women, young people, and people with disabilities. So we are going to be focusing through Imteto on ensuring that the procurement, there is set aside so that every department in government, both at national, provincial, and local government, they should know that when they go out to procure, to buy services, to buy goods, they must focus on those set-asides for women, for young people, and for people with disabilities. Our manifesto said that we would protect and uphold the hard-won rights of workers. We said we would continually strive to improve the working and living conditions of the working people of our country. Now, since the 100 days, the Department of Employment and Labor has undertaken a proactive program of inspecting workplaces. Bayahamba bangena from workplace to workplace. This is to ensure that the employers comply with the labor laws of our country. They comply with the minimum wage and the safety conditions. And we applaud the Department of Labor and Employment in what they are doing, because it is wrong that so many workplaces that we visited, including large companies, have such lax approach to the rights of workers and our labor laws. And city, a labor department, go ahead and go and inspect a number of companies so that they must be brought to book. Kube nomthetho lapha kukhona kwamalume la uzenzela yona into oyithandayo. Kuse South Africa and kunemithetho, and they must comply with the labor laws of our country. We have done much work in giving effect to the second priority of the manifesto, which is to build an inclusive economy through industrialization and infrastructure development. Now, as part of our response to COVID-19, we put in place the economic recovery plan during the 6th administration so as to deal with the impact of that devastating pandemic. And we have now continued, we are continuing to make sure that we focus on infrastructure. And working together with our social partners, we are beginning to see the green shoots of an economy that is on the road to recovery. And through the effective implementation of our energy action plan, in load shedding, we are now seeing it way behind us. Aisabiko in load shedding. And we thank our comrades who've been working on this. This is part of the progress that is continuing. We have made important strides to make sure that we keep the lights on, and ESCOM continues to implement the things that it needs to work on. So, comrades, in many, many ways, we are also focusing on the issue of corruption. Corruption is being focused on in a more focused way. And in doing so, comrades, we are advancing what we set out in the statement of intent, and we are focusing on a number of economic reforms that were started in the 6th administration through the Operation Vulindlela, which in many ways was also initiated by Comrade Tito Mboweni, who sadly has passed away. And we want to honor him by ensuring that the work that he started continues in bringing about the reforms that are necessary in our economy. Now, as we continue to engage with investors, we want them to focus on the productive side of the economy. We are implementing our industrial policy with renewed vigor. Yes, we want to make sure that we get to a point where the minerals that we mine in our country are beneficiated, so that we no longer export soil, rocks, and dust. We export finished products. And that message is sinking. We even dealt with that message at the United Nations. We are dealing with it at the African Union. We are dealing with it in SADC. And we are going to make sure that, yes, it becomes a reality, that there is beneficiation and our industrial policy supports this whole process of beneficiation. So, comrades, we continue to ensure that the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, where we are going to be able to export many, many goods to the rest of our continent, continues. We want to make sure that we trade with our African sister countries, and that is part of growing our economy and making sure that indeed we do get an economy that is growing. The third priority of our manifesto was to tackle the high cost of living. We are beginning to see some relief for consumers with regard to the prices of basic goods. We have seen the reduction in the petrol price, due in part to the strengthening of the rand, and the setting up of the Government of National Unity also contributed to the strengthening of the rand, and that leads to the decrease of a number of import prices, particularly petrol. And that is why we have also seen the reduction in the petrol price. While there's been a decline in some food prices, the Competition Commission has noted that there are some food prices that are still high. And comrades, we continue in a number of other areas to ensure that we introduce new ways of doing things. For instance, the school nutrition program, which feeds over 9 million children. We are grateful that the Department of Basic Education is now going to add another meal, a breakfast, as a meal to feed our children. That too represents progress. And our government will continue with the SRD fund to make sure the SRD grant, and we expect that we will be advancing to another level of a grant. And we are calling on government to make sure that we expedite this. Another progress area has been in improving the commuter rail lines. IPRASA has now been working very hard to make sure that our commuter lines or railway lines and passengers are now beginning to go back to using rail, the trains, and we now see millions of our commuters going back to utilizing the trains. That is the progress that was started in the 6th administration, and it continues. Those reforms are going ahead. So, comrades, we also want to see an improvement in the quality of basic services that are given to our people. Basic services such as water, refuse collection, and we are going to be making sure that our municipalities do give our people good basic services. Our councillors and our mayors should focus on improving the services that they deliver to our people. We are pleased that Ekurhuleni and in Johannesburg, they have new ANC mayors, and we applaud them and we wish them the very best so that they can improve services here. In the last 100 days, we signed the Bella Act, the Basic Education Law Amendment. Lena upanyaza, wailuke mobilizer for yona, sisainile. Now, the new legislation is going to ensure that we improve our education system. We also ensure that there is access to education right across the board without any form of discrimination, without any form of preventing our children from entering into any of the schools in our country. But it is also going to make sure that, yes, we focus on early childhood development. Abantwana bethu, they must start being educated from as early as 4 years old. They must start going to schools. And we are going to proceed with that. And of course, in executing the Bela Act, we have allowed a period, a very brief period of 3 months to finalize 2 provisions. And that is a process in which negotiations, and we want the ANC to also get involved in those negotiations so that we can get an education system that can serve all our children. We also signed the NHI Act, NHI that is going to ensure that there is equal access to health has been signed into law. And yona is our implementwa, yona NHI. We are just making sure that those who may well have had issues come forward, but we want to make it clear that we are going to implement the national health system. At the same time, we continue to engage with everyone. Several ministers in the GNU have been working with provinces and local government in the spirit of cooperative governance to resolve a number of issues, and we should applaud that. At the same time, we will continue to make efforts to ensure that the ANC deployees in all levels of government do their work, whether they are ministers, whether they are MECs, whether they are premiers, whether they are councillors. They must continue doing their work. We've also said that we must strengthen the monitoring and evaluation in the ANC kona la eLuthuli House. La umbaksi ati kuphathe yena. Whoa. Mbaksi kuti kuphathe wena kuphathe ANC. So comrades, the GNU gives us a great opportunity and a great moment so that we can advance the interests of our people. And we are also bringing about influence on all the other members of the GNU so that we continue to protect and advance the rights of those who are vulnerable in society, including children, the elderly, persons with disabilities. And we are committed to upholding the rights of members of the LGBTQIA+ community. Now, October is an important month to the LGBTQIA+ community. They held their October Pride March, and we congratulate Soweto on the 20th anniversary of its Pride March and welcome the Pride Marches across the country to advance the rights of those communities that are vulnerable, particularly against homophobia. The emancipation of women, comrades, remains one of the cornerstones of our society that we wish to advance and to build. And we celebrate achievements that are taking women to a higher level of leadership. We celebrate also, for instance, the appointment and the inauguration of the country's first female Chief Justice in South Africa. That is a moment that we should celebrate. At the same time, we must intensify our efforts to end gender-based violence and femicide. GBV, comrades, must not only be the task of the ANC Women's League, it must be our collective task, where we call upon men to respect the women of our country, La sicela khona madoda gore ba kwale dizipi tsa bona. Ba ska ba tsamaya ba butse dizipi ba rape basadi. Re a re tlhompheng basadi ba naga ena, so that we get rid of gender-based violence in South Africa. We must also, in the end, reduce and remove the gender pay gap, because we still find that in a number of places, women are paid less than men. And we say to companies, get rid of that bad practice. Pay women who do exactly the same work as men, exactly the same. We must work together to reverse the recent dip in the representation of women in our parliament. Also in a number of formations of government. In parliament now, we're seeing a lesser number of women. We need to attend to that. We welcome the vigor with which our Minister of Police and the criminal justice system as a whole are moving to tackle crime and corruption. And we welcome the cooperation that is taking place with communities, with business, with private security companies, on effective crime prevention strategies. We are making headway across the criminal justice system in our fight against corruption, yes, against criminality. We continue to implement, yes, the various recommendations of the State Capture Commission. And we will keep the pressure on. We will leave no quarter unmoved. We made a commitment, comrades, to build an accountable, ethical, and professional public service. We can see progress through the leadership of institutions like the Public Service Commission, the Auditor General, the Public Protector, and the National School of Government. And as part of the 6th administration, or the ANC 6th Priority Manifesto, we are working to build a better Africa and a better world. Much of our international engagements over the past 100 days have been about expanding economic diplomacy wherever our ministers have gone. From Comrade Lamola, from Comrade Pakstow, and others, they have been going around the world campaigning for economic progress in our country. And we've been making progress in opening up many other markets through BRICS and through AGOA and through various bilateral relations. So our commitment to making sure that we have a multilateral world is unchallenged. We will continue to do so. And we welcome the decisions that have also been taken by the United Nations to make sure that we reform the UN, particularly its Security Council. And we will continue, comrades, to advance the African agenda. And we will continue to ensure that we support the people of Palestine. In the next few days, we will be submitting our full case to the International Court of Justice in support of the people of Palestine against the genocide that is being committed to the people of Palestine, particularly in Gaza. We also, comrades, are concerned about the bombings that have been taking place by Israel in the nearby countries like Lebanon. And we call on the world to put pressure on Israel to desist from all these attacks that they have been leveling against neighboring countries. And we call for the immediate ceasefire that should take place, yes, in Gaza, and the release of hostages, and also making sure that humanitarian assistance does get through. Climate change continues to be a major problem, and some of our provinces here continue to experience it. The government of national unity has taken this task up, climate change, with a great deal of vigor, and we are going to make sure that we do protect our people, particularly those who continue to suffer from the disasters, climate disasters that take place. Now, comrades, 100 days does not seem like a long time, but it is a significant milestone to gauge whether we are moving in the right direction or whether we are doing things differently and with more purpose. Our reflections, the reflections that we are making at this point in time, that although our challenges are huge, there is collective commitment to working together to tackle these challenges. And those who say we should not be working together with others need to come forward with alternatives, alternatives that they believe can work. And thus far, we have not heard of any better option or alternative. And that is why we will continue to work with the 9 political parties as the African National Congress in the government of national unity, because the government of national unity has brought about stability, political stability in our country, and it is giving a real meaningful promise for economic growth, where investors are beginning to look at our country once again with greater interest, both local and foreign investors. Because in the end, comrades, we need to work on improving our economy. There is a firm commitment to advance towards building a better life for all our people. The commitment to advance towards building a better life is also shared by many people who want to participate in the national dialogue. The idea of a national dialogue has now been broadly accepted. The national dialogue will be an important moment where we will get our people to participate through their various formations, be it political parties, religious organizations, traditional organizations, sporting organizations, cultural organizations, educational organizations, you name them. We will want them to participate in discussing the state of our nation and also in charting a way forward for South Africa. So we are looking forward to the holding of the national dialogue so that we can take South Africa forward. We should always, comrades, remind ourselves of the words of the great African freedom fighter, Amilcar Cabral, who would have turned 100 years if he had continued to live, when he said we must always remember that the people are not fighting or struggling for ideas, the ideas that are in your head. The people fight and accept the sacrifices demanded in order to gain material advantages, to live better, to live in peace, to benefit from progress, and for the better future of their children. So our people are not trying to fight for what is in the heads of leaders. They want real progress. They want jobs. They want to lead a better life. They want poverty to be obliterated in South Africa. They want inequality to come to an end. Bafuna ukuthi ukuhlupheka kuphele. Not loku okusengqondweni yakho. They want real things. Now, comrades, our country has entered a new era, and it is an important era. Yes, it's an era full of challenges. It is an era that is also full of risks, but it is also an era that is full of possibilities. As the ANC, we are determined to seize these opportunities to advance the needs and the interests of the people of South Africa. We are determined to advance the fundamental social and economic transformation of our society. As we mark 100 days of the Government of National Unity, we once again call on all South Africans to join us, to do more together. City Wozani, come and work with us. And we are grateful that 9 parties responded positively to the invitation that we issued to come and join us to form a government of national unity to stabilize our country, to take our country forward. We say, Mabeze bonke, let us work together. This is a moment for all South Africans to work together to advance the interests of South Africa. Ngalawo mazwi sithi phambili ne-African National Congress phambili. Phambili ne-GNU phambili. Amandla. Amandla. Long live the African National Congress, long live. Long live the GNU, long live. Amandla. Siyabonga, comrades.
Sihamba nawe, sikuthanda sonke, emolo-molo. Ramaphosa, sihamba nawe, sikuthanda sonke. Ramaphosa, sihamba nawe, sikuthanda sonke, emolo-molo. Ramaphosa, sihamba nawe, sikuthanda sonke. Ramaphosa, riguhata ufela, ritamaya riwena, emolo-molo. Ramaphosa, riguhata ufela, ritamaya riwena, emolo-molo. Ramaphosa, riurata ufela, ritamaya riwena, emolo-molo.
Amandla! Amandla! Kokela Ramaphosa, kokela! Pata matamela pata! Liruna! Ribatu! Pambili ge West Rand, Pambili! I want to acknowledge the comrades of West Rand. That time I was talking about the regions, I didn't acknowledge you. Ikona West Rand. Thank you very much. Comrades, let me now explain to you. We have come to the end. This statement on reflections will be debated in our country, and the ANC will lead. through cluster briefings here at Luthuli House to detail the interventions that have been made at the present moment. So we must engage with those discussions as members of the ANC, including the distortions about the GNU. Angitsho bakhona bathi kuyathengiswa. Siyathengisa. Uyizile into yothengisa la. Upresident ukhuluma amaqiniso. Umzabalazo lento comrades. Aluta continua. The struggle continues. Here at Luthuli House and our branches, we will not succeed if the ANC is not strong. Akuna discipline. Kukwazenzele, kuvula sibhuqe. So maqabane, upresident usinikile umkhombandlela. Masibambe phansi emasebeni. Siqhube siye nayo phambili. We have DJ Maporisa, and we also have Nkosazana's daughter. Others will announce them as we go on. And comrades, we want to thank all of you, our volunteers, here in Gauteng and everywhere. Sibonga kakhulu maqabane. Amandla. Awethu. President, at ngexesha ufuna ngalo unless ufuna ujayivela amapiano. Umaphorisa la. But xa ufuna ukuhamba ungakhululeka mongameli. Sizawujuxuza ngoku. Siyazwana. Enkosi kakhulu. Ariye. Phori.
Asa, sure. Oh, lo. Yeah, wena. I say, can you feel it? Oh, yeah, bo. I say, can you feel it? Oh, yeah, bo. Arita Mairuna. Arita Mairuna. Samba. So, oh, lo. So, yeah, way now you go 1, 2, 3, Bati. I saw the Nikona. I saw the Sababona. Hegisi Bobby Mali. Hegisi Samanabo. Hegisi, I saw the Nikona. Hegisi Sabe Sababona. Hegisi Bobby Mali. Ay, hegisi Samanabo. Hegisi Bomonti. Hegana Simbi. This is for the Taki. It's Taki. It's the Ibn Bobby. I saw Ubu show me. Ay, who show me. Batu Mani Yana Batu Mangali King. He King.